It is October and it's one of my favorite times of year, but as I was trying to get my recommendations out and pull out my list of favorite movies, things I'm going to be watching this entire season, the list started to get very daunting. I was like, I talk about those movies all the time, but then I started noticing everyone's making a 31 days of Halloween recommendation list. And while that's great, why would I want to talk about the same exact movies that everyone's talking about? I can tell you I'm going to watch Halloween on Halloween and I'm going to watch Scream this season. And my favorite slasher is
Halloween.
can talk about that, but I think everybody is going to do that. So this list here is something I'm trying to bring back tradition. When I was a kid growing up in the 90s, the cable networks, one of them had a movie marathon called The 13 Days of Halloween, and I want to bring that back. The very first one here is Idle Hands. This one came out in 1999. It is available for streaming on Pluto at the time of recording this. I absolutely love it. So this one stars Devon Sawa, plays this stoner slacker kid. His hand gets possessed by a demon and starts killing everybody. And this is just, it's more funny than scary, but you also have an early role of Jessica Alba in this one. Seth Green's in this, and I just absolutely love revisiting it every October because it embodies Halloween and it's just a perfect October watch. This one here for me is just top notch. Now it came out in 1985. It is streaming for free right now on Pluto. And we're talking about The Stuff. Now, this is just a fun satire, dark comedy on consumerism, but this substance comes out of the ground and it tastes really good. And so it gains popularity, everyone's eating it, but then at some point they become addicted, they have to eat it, and then it kills them. And so if they don't eat it, it just kind of takes over. This is just a fun Saturday afternoon film, but definitely perfect for fall, perfect for this time of the year, and this is something I highly recommend. Coming at number 3 is High Spirits. This is just a fun comedy from 1988. It is streaming for free right now on Roku, or you can rent this on Amazon. But if you've never seen this one, this stars Peter O'Toole, Steve Guttenberg, Liam Neeson, Daryl Hannah is also in this film, tons of other great people. This takes place in Ireland. There's an Irish castle that's about to get repossessed, and it's been turned into this like hotel slash bed and breakfast, and it's failing. And so they have this idea to try kind of trick American tourists into saying that it's haunted and getting them over there. And as they kind of do that, it really is haunted and some real ghosts appear. And I think the funniest part was the hotel people trying to trick everybody and dress up like ghosts and create these special effects. And a lot of them were movie special effects that they just kind of incorporated into that. And so it just is something that I highly recommend. At number 4 is a dark comedy from 1985, and it is House. This is just an overall great film. I enjoyed watching it when I was a little kid. It kind of always stuck with me. Now, this one is free right now on Pluto, so you could always check it out. But it's something that I think is perfect for the season. You could watch this any time of year, but it really just embodies that whole creepy, spooky vibe. And for me, it just kind of fits this time of year. But you have this Vietnam veteran who had a tragic loss and is dealing with his ex-wife. He moves into a family home that is haunted. And as he's trying to, do his daily life and become a writer and deal with all of his stuff, his past starts to haunt him. And then the house is haunted and all the creepy stuff starts to happen. And you have rubber monster suits and great makeup. And this is something that I absolutely love it. And I think this right here would inspire an entire generation of filmmakers given a chance, because when I was a kid, this right here is what made me obsessed with special effects. Number 5 is something that as soon as I first saw the movie poster back in the 90s, I knew I wanted to watch it. And when I finally did, it's something I've been watching ever since. I think it's absolutely top notch. It's great to watch during Halloween. I absolutely love this because it embodies that entire spookiness. I'm not even sure if it ever even says what time of year it is, but it just kind of, I always feel that I should be watching this around October anyway. And it is Death Becomes Her. Now, this one, I only have it on the VHS, but it did just get announced for a 4K, which I did pre-order. It is coming out at the end of the month, though, just in time for Halloween, and that's when I'll be watching it, and I'll be enjoying that 4K. If you don't have a physical copy of this, you can watch it for free on Tubi. But this is something that both Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn, they're rivals. They knew each other way back when. They both at some point are in love with Bruce Willis, and then they're jealous of each other. They search out this potion that creates immortality, but then they die. It's just something, the consequences of having that immortality while screwing up their bodies. They have this like zombie-like effects, really enjoyable movie and something that I revisit every single October. So the next two here are extremely hard to find. They're long out of print. The versions I have here I bought when they were brand new, and now you can't get them. They're extremely expensive. So I'm not talking about that. There's no way to legally stream this. There's no way to rent this. There are versions of this available online if you know how to figure that out. But this one here, these ones here are something that there are DVDs available, and you can find those fairly inexpensive. I've seen a couple for anywhere between $1, $6 is about average, but there are quite a few of them that are extremely expensive. And I'm saying, don't spend the money on them. Don't pay $100 for a DVD or even these Blu-rays that are long out of print. There are cheap versions out there. But I absolutely love these movies, and I think that they're great watches for the fall. They have that spooky vibe. They're wonderful for this season. At number 6 is a movie from 1983, and this is a Disney-owned movie. And like I said, the cheapest I've been able to find this DVD for is about anywhere between $6 and $14 is on the cheap end, but there are some crazy prices out there. And we're talking about Something Wicked This Way Comes. This is something that really just embodies the entire fall season. And you have those fall vibes, the spooky season. It takes place in a small town. You have these two young boys that get involved in this spooky, evil carnival that shows up to town that pretty much is just preying on all of the townspeople's. For as far as like spooky, creepy kids films, I don't think I've seen anything more creepy than this one, but I love it. It's just a really enjoyable movie for this time of year. Coming in at number 7, we have The Watcher in the Woods. Now, this is something that came out in 1980. It stars Bette Davis. Now, again, there's no place to stream this legally, but there is a few versions of the DVD available, anywhere between $1 and $6. So you can pick this up on the cheaper end, and I have seen these at thrift stores. So they are around, but don't pay the higher price for this one either. This is just an all-around perfect movie for this time of year. It has that creepy vibe. The whole setting of this movie just kind of feels right for the fall season, the spooky season. But this family moves into this house in the woods, and there's a ghost or a spirit that's trying to take revenge, and you don't really know what's going on, and you kind of work it backwards. But it has like the perfect, I don't know, for me it's just a wonderful film to revisit around this time of year. Really enjoyable. Number 8, we have The Frighteners. This one came out in 1996. It is a horror supernatural comedy that stars Michael J. Fox, and it was directed by Peter Jackson. Right now it's free to stream on Tubi. Absolutely love this one, and from the very first time that I saw this, I just couldn't get enough of it. And so you have this like really wonderful blend of horror and comedy, which works perfectly for me. If you've never seen this, I just love the idea behind it. And so Michael J. Fox's character is this private investigator, but he's also shady. So he can communicate with the dead, but nobody else can. And so as he's talking to the dead and he has these befriends these like ghosts that are working for him, they go haunt people. And as they haunt people, he then solves the problem. And so this is something that he's just kind of like a con man, and I love it. But then murders start happening and he has to investigate, and he's pretty much the only one that can solve it. And I just really enjoyed this movie. Coming in at number 9, we have Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, and I think this one here is a staple for this time of year. But it definitely is just a beloved horror comedy. Right now, at the time of recording this, you can rent it for I think a couple dollars on Amazon, or if you have Amazon Prime, I think it's free to stream there as well. This is something that, because it appeals to most audiences, it was made in 1948, I think you're going to introduce a lot of your younger audience to the classic monsters in the least scary way possible and getting people into horror. I think this is just a way to go. But for me, this is a staple around October. Absolutely love this one. Number 10 is Odd Thomas. This one came out in 2013. Really enjoyed this one. It stars Willem Dafoe, Anton Yelchin. This one's free to stream on Pluto right now. Anton Yelchin's character, he can see the dead, and he uses that to thwart this entire evil, sinister plot to bring demons to Earth and let it leash on this entire town. And it's something that I really enjoyed. I thought the special effects were great in this, and just a fun overall story. But it's something that I think is just perfect for October, the fall time. Number 11 is something that, one, I absolutely love it, but I think it's perfect for this time of year. And another one that I think is also ambiguous and doesn't really tell you the date. I could be wrong on that. We're talking about 1999's Stir of Echoes. Now, this one here, it stars Kevin Bacon, and I don't know why I don't really notice anybody talking about this as much because Kevin Bacon is in it, and so I feel it's more of like a hidden gem. And this one here, it is free to stream on Roku, and I think you can rent this for a couple dollars on Amazon. But it's just an absolutely wonderful film, and as far as like those hidden gem type stories, Kevin Bacon's character is hypnotized, and after that, he starts to be able to see ghosts, and opening that door to the other realm just kind of screws up his entire life. You think he's going a little crazy, but then he investigates a real tragedy that happened in his neighborhood and the cover up revolving around that. And it's just a really good film, and it's something I love to revisit every October. Number 12 is one of my all time favorites. It's a dark comedy from 1944. We're talking about Arsenic and Old Lace. I think this is just an excellent film, and mixing that dark comedy with the macabre, I think works perfect for this time of year. And right now, it is available to rent for a few dollars on Amazon. But this is something, it stars Cary Grant. And so that's kind of how I even found it. I was trying to get all the Cary Grant films. And so I found this one. It was a hidden gem. And once I found it and started talking about it, everyone else was like, oh, yeah, it's a great film. I don't know why nobody recommended this to me before, but it's something that I love to revisit around this time of year. And if you haven't seen it, you have these two old ladies. They're sweet old ladies, pretty much do anything for you, cook for you, take care of you, that kind of like nice, sweet old lady vibe. They have a dark secret, and that dark secret is they're killing everybody. So, but then there's no like murderous, evil, like bone in their body. They do it with a smile.
But there's a body in the window seat.
Yes, dear. We know.
Extremely funny. I really enjoyed this one, and I highly recommend it. Number 13 is probably one of my all-time favorite classic horror comedies. I absolutely love this one. It has the classic horror icons, Vincent Price, Peter Lorre, Boris Karloff. You just have a great cast there, and I think the only way to find this is to physically own it on home video or to rent this on Amazon for a few dollars. And we're talking about the Comedy of Terrors. Vincent Price's character here is just top notch. I think everybody played a great role in this, and every time I watch it, I end up dying laughing. I think it's just wonderful. So Vincent Price's character is a failing undertaker, and he's trying to figure out how to make ends meet. Well, he resorts to desperate measures, and being an undertaker, he just kind of takes it upon himself to speed up the process. And so this is something that it mixes humor with the horror and the macabre. Everything in this was perfect. There's nothing I would change about this film, and it's something that I really enjoy. I watch it every single year, probably twice in October, and then once, randomly on a Saturday, I might watch this film, but I absolutely love it. Everything rolled into this, I think, is perfect for the Halloween season.
Well, you're here because you're dead, Mr. Black.
The hell I am.
Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if any of these movies here you're going to add to your watch list and check these out this year, or if there's anything that you think I should watch, any recommendations for me, I'll take a look at that. The store is live. All the links are down below. You can also follow me on social media. Tag me in it if you're getting anything. We've had a few orders come in, and this shirt just is one of the newest ones we added to it. The Monsters Bride boob tube shirt. Loving this one. And we did get the Spooky Season 2024 limited edition t-shirt and the hoodie. Those are going to be up until Black Friday, I think. So this one here, the Nosferatu design, we're going to keep the design, but this shirt in this color, the option here, we're getting the orange boob tube on the sleeve, and this is the limited edition Spooky Season 2024 design. This is only going to be available on these shirts until the end of the season, and so we got that going on. And on the hoodie, this design here, it's going to cover the whole back. So you have this big giant design on the back. All that stuff is on the website. You can find all that down below. If you want to see what I watched last Halloween, check out my list of 31 recommendations right here. With that, watch a movie today, and I'll catch you guys next time.